Alright, now we've got a much longer question. And this is quite different to the other ones that you have done. The question is, Lana receives a weekly allowance of $12 and earns an extra $3 for each chore she completes. 1. Write an equation. I spelled that wrong, but you get the point. Write an equation which describes the relationship between P, total weekly earnings, and C, the number of chores she completes. And question 2. Last week, she earned a total of $33. How many chores did she complete? A few things to note before we start. This here, the P, and this here, the C, can be anything. They can be P and C like they are here. They are most commonly X and Y, where the P would be the Y and the C would be the X. But they can be anything. They can be P and Q, they can be U and V, they can be N and C, anything. Doesn't matter as long as they're two different things. And I don't know if you remember this from school, but they most commonly come in the form of Y is equal to MX plus C. On to the question. To write an equation to describe the relationship, it needs to be in this form here. Now it's asking for the total weekly earnings, which is P. That's the total amount. That is the same as the Y here. So instead of the Y, you write P is equal to, instead of the M, you have this C here. C. The X will always be X. Plus. And in this question, it doesn't give a thing for the C. So we're just going to refer to it as H. For example, can be anything though. So in this question here, we have the P is the total money she earned. The C is the amount of chores, so the number of chores. The X is how much she gets paid per chore, and the H is the amount she gets given per week as pocket money. So the dollar of pocket money. This, you don't need to write all this, but this is just so that I can help you understand it a bit more. The P will always stay as P. The C, we don't have a number yet because it's just asking for an equation. It's not asking for an answer, it's just the equation. So P is equal to C times, and again, just like the last thing, if you saw a bracket, how I said if you saw a bracket here, you would assume that they're times. If you see two things like this that aren't numbers next to each other, that also means that they're multiplied together. And as we said earlier, the X is the amount that she gets paid per chore. And if you go back up here, you see she gets paid $3 per chore. So your total amount is equal to the number of chores times the amount you get paid per chore, which in this case is 3, plus the amount she gets every week as pocket money. Now, can you tell me how much she gets per week as pocket money? Just give you a few seconds. If you said $12, that is correct. And so the final thing you add in here is plus 12. And that is your answer for question number 1. Question number 2. Last week, she earned a total of $33. How many chores did she complete? So if you know she made $33 total, just draw a line so you can see the difference between the two here. She made $33 total, question number 2. And she gets $12 automatically every single week for doing nothing. You can do 33 take away 12, which will give you 21. So $33 total, 12 automatically, and she made 21 because of chores. So $21 of chore money. Now, if you can figure out how to figure out the amount of chores, be my guest. I'll go up here just to show you the full question again, and I'll give you 5 seconds to try and figure it out. If you said to divide that by $3 because of this bit here, then you're correct. Because since she gets paid $3 per chore, if you divide the amount she's made from the chores by the amount she gets paid for the chores, you'll find out how many chores. So 21 divided by 3 is equal to 7, which means she completed 7 chores.